So, welcome back to Growing Pains, the place
warm
where
in
we
here.
allow you to,
So it's warm in here.
It is very hot. Place where we allow you to process your pain, turn it into power, self-discover, and grow with us.
And have a laugh at the same time.
And have a laugh, yes. So we're going to start with our random facts and items this time to get the juices flowing. Shall I go first or do you want to go first?
Go first.
So my random item, I actually found an item this time, is a key. Which is very interesting because, as you'll see, it says 30th initiation unlocked. Because since I turned 30, fucking hell, have I had some initiations. Do you want to say something?
Where'd you get that from?
Well, I'm about to tell you. So I was given a 30th birthday gift. Honestly, I can't remember who it was from, but this was like part of it. It had nothing to do with the gift, but I thought, okay, I'm just going to take it. And I put it on my vision board for the year. Because I was like, okay, well, the key's obviously unlocking something. I don't know what. And since then, I've realized how this key has been trying to come to me for years. And it's funny because you were telling me that story yesterday about the man with the keys.
Oh, that little mad.
That was, yeah, that's a whole thing. But so there was that. Then there was these keys in my my old bedroom, obviously now back at my parents', that I'd never seen or really noticed before. So that was interesting. I have a tattoo, which at the time was of my higher self. And I got it maybe 6-7 years ago. And it had a necklace, and the tattoo artist, on the necklace, she put a key. So she gives you the design. If you want to change it, you change it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't really like the key. Scrap the key. She changed it for like a star or something. And I think that was me subconsciously trying to get rid of my power. And then when we did our angelic Reiki thing the other day, do you remember when we did our Metatron meditation and he gave you an item?
Yeah.
And it was a key. For me, it was a key.
Give you an item, yeah.
And it was a key.
Yeah.
So basically, I think that I'm finally unlocking the life that I'm supposed to be living.
Nice.
How mad is that?
Nice, I like that.
So all these synchronicities. So that's my item.
It reminded me of, have you seen The Haunting of Hill House
Yes.
on Netflix? And there's that door upstairs and no one has the key to it.
Yeah.
And then it just opens at the end.
What door am I opening?
Precisely.
Oh, I'm so excited.
But that the door they open at the end is all the magic of the room. Do they call it the red room or something like that?
Of course they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my item. So we're going to unlock some doors.
Unlock some doors. Why not?
Why not?
I've already used two of my items.
Give us
What's
a
a
fact,
random?
then.
Shall I give you a random fact or a random conspiracy? Let's go down the conspiracy.
Yes,
route.
go conspiracy.
Apparently Hitler was black. I'm going to say it.
Why do you
Google
look
it.
like you doubt your own conspiracy?
So I'm still looking into it.
Okay, fine.
Google it, look into it. But apparently, yeah, it was one of the Moors. And, they call it the Dark Ages because that's when apparently black people ruled the earth.
So that would mean that...
I don't know what it'd mean.
Okay.
It just means that a lot of history is, as we know anyway, is bullshit.
You know the thing I just said earlier with the disease? Have you
Yeah.
heard of the history being his story?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I've heard that.
Because it's all just a fucking story of what we need to be told.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, the victors write the stories in the books, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
it's a
told what we need to be
Yeah,
told.
it's a madness that. And apparently the actual Adolf Hitler is based off Charlie Chaplin. But they've got the same mustache and stuff, same height, same features. Apparently that's what it is. They needed someone, so they got Charlie Chaplin to come in, who's an actor, obviously, to bring up the Third Reich.
What, so they just used him as the model for the person that they were trying to...
Which is what they do anyway. It happened with Osama. He was trained by the CIA with Bush Senior. It happens all the time.
Fair.
Apparently Churchill and Hitler were friends. Hitler had visited England many times. He had a favourite place in Manchester he used to stay. And then sort of made into an enemy and that sort of thing. But yeah, mad. Anyway, that's my random fact. Do some
Basically,
research.
question the history you've been told is the
history
point.
you've been told, yeah.
The story you've been
Hope we
told.
don't get
Banned.
shadow banned for talking about
I think you said a lot
Jews.
worse than that, to be totally honest.
But hey, we're out here, innit?
We are out here. If you want the real juice, come hear us talk about it at the retreats. Then we can be completely unfiltered.
Come to our conspiracy circles.
That would be such a great idea for a circle.
You need to do it next door in that black room.
Oh my God, yes. Get man like
Yeah.
Pep on as well. He loves a conspiracy.
Who, Pep?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Funny. Right, so
let's get into it.
a couple of weeks ago, saw something flash up on my Facebook, something called The Ark in Manchester. Looked pretty good.
Did Hitler make it?
No, but do you know what? Okay, so originally it was invented by the Russians, someone in Russia. So what the guy told me is, after war, the Russian soldiers used to go on these beds,
Oh
which would
yeah,
help regulate the nervous system and help get rid of all the trauma. So they're ready to go back to war again rather than carrying the war with them.
yeah.
And they started using it all the time. Obviously, something happened and stopped using it. However, it was originally made in Russia, but we know Russia at the time, years ago, were doing loads of experiments similar to the Germans anyway. You know, trying to do, that's where steroids sort of come from, trying to make super soldiers.
Uh,
They were doing stuff like that, trying to get more out of the troops, and this is a bed that they used when they came back. So anyway, I saw it on the Facebook, so I dropped them a message, and I thought, you know, I'm going to go down and have a look at it. Didn't really know anything about it apart from it's like a sunbed that's covered in clear quartz crystal with copper. So imagine you're in a sunbed, but it's made out of copper, and you lay inside of it, you pull this lid down, and you're just in this sunbed with this quartz crystal lined into the copper. Behind me is a subwoofer, and they're blasting some music. You know, it sounds like what I do every night anyway, listen to music on my bed. It doesn't sound anything magical. Prior to that, you get like an ECG reading, so you connect to this machine, it takes your vitals, it gets like your rhythm of your heart, does some sort of measurements for your nervous system and just like emotional regulation.
Checks your
Basically, it can
chakras.
carry can test the sort of stress that you're carrying in your body. It even does some sort of chakra test on there as well. It gives you an indication to whether you're maybe blocked in one area or not in another. So I went into it open mind. I thought, right, I've done quite a few meditations. Let's see what this brings. I like to be my own test subject. Already, I like music, hence why I do sound healing, you know. So I thought this is going to be nice. So I laid on this bed, started blasting this music. I thought, oh, this is nice. Then I started getting like loads of thoughts through my head. So I thought, right, I need to just relax into this because there's a lot coming up. So I decided doing like 2 or 3 minutes worth of breath work, just regulating my breathing. I thought, right, let me just clear my mind. So I've laid on the bed, just cleared my mind. I started feeling the vibrations, because what happens is the music behind you blasts at a certain frequency. It comes through your body like it would do. And then because it's copper, the frequencies can bounce off of the copper. So it's bouncing off the bed, through the body, and it's constantly doing that for 35 minutes.
Yeah.
We know through sound healing that frequencies can alter the state of the body on a cellular level for the positive or for the negative. But obviously the frequencies that they're using are for the positive. So it feels really nice when you're on there.
Yeah. Vibrational.
And it got to the last 4 or 5 minutes, and I'm led there thinking, okay, this is really nice, but I've not had a massive breakthrough like I thought I would do. Because normally when you do like something new like that, you normally have a big breakthrough. And then all of a sudden, it was like a click, and then behind my closed eyes, I saw my whole nervous system just turn on and light up. Very similar to when I was taking mushrooms before. I saw the same thing, but a couple of years ago. And I went on and thinking it was just music playing behind my ears. I'm like, wow, that's mad.
So what did you see? You saw a nervous system
I just saw, like, imagine a black figure stood in front of you, and then there was like your veins are just lighting up.
Love it.
So literally you can see loads of lines around the body and everything's just lit up. And I was like, wow, that's mad. And as soon as I've got off the bed, my crown, I could just feel like the aura of my crown just being so big. And I felt like I just woke up out of a dream, and the woman's like, are you okay? And I'm, yeah, I just need a minute. And I'm looking around the room just to make sure I'm still here. So I'm like, something's happened there. And then I felt like I had the biggest head that I've ever had in my life.
Bigger than before.
Yeah, massive. And I'm just sat here just trying to digest what's happened, because the bed's not plugged in. You know, there's no electric running through it at all. You literally just lay on it and play music. And I've done that so many times before in the past. So like, what was different about this experience?
The music they play is insane, though. It's not just like music. It's actual. I mean, it's frequencies aligned to each chakra, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or they choose which chakra to play.
Yeah. So you go on before. There's a bit of a consultation. You know, he asked me where I thought I was lacking, and I said sacral, heart, and crown. So we went, right, we're going to play it for the sacral frequency, and we'll just deal with that. Because weirdly enough, that was the lowest on me.
Interesting, because that was my highest.
Yeah. My heart was the highest. It was 100%, which were mad.
That is mad.
Yeah, it was just a mad experience. But it does kind of work hand in hand with what we do anyway. You know, it's recognizing chakras, healing on an emotional level. It just blew my mind, basically, the experience of just laying on a bed and playing some frequencies through.
Yeah.
Just another modality we could add to our repertoire of stuff that we do already. But it was a mental experience. But I obviously didn't say much about it, and I told you about it, booked you on, and then told Kuba as well. So I'm like, let these guys have their own experience, see what it is about me having to gas it up and kind of tell you what you're going to experience.
I fucking loved my experience there. I thought it was... the first thing I noticed when I lied down in the thing was like, I can't stop smiling. I don't know what it was. I literally could physically feel myself trying to stop myself from smiling, but I just couldn't. It was like I could feel the vibrations of like joy, if that makes sense. I saw some things too. And then I think the craziest thing was that I saw my aura, but it was like a pinky purpley vibe. It was literally just existing like inches above my body. And when I came out, I can't remember his wife's name. But anyway, the wife was like, so before I went into the bed, I went off to the toilet and she showed me where it was. And then she turned around and spoke to the sister and she kept blinking and I didn't know this until after, obviously. And she was like, why are you blinking at me? Like, what's wrong with my face? She was like, no, I can just literally see pink everywhere. And I think her aura is pink. Didn't tell me any of this. I went in, had that experience, saw my pink aura, came out, said my aura is pink. And she was like, shut the fuck up. I literally saw it walking around you as you were walking off earlier. And she was like, I've never seen anything like that before. And I was like, well, I've never seen my aura that color either before or whatever. The other thing was when she opened the bed, she was like, she said, were you vibrating? I was like, well, I didn't feel it, but I could feel the vibrations. And she was like, it was only happening with a few people, but like you can literally hear and see the bed vibrating outside because the frequencies become so big. And I saw some things. I also, at one point, I saw this mad, like, to the point where I almost opened my eyes. I saw like a bright, what felt like a star or something. We've both done that. That shows how big the frequencies have got. It was such a bright flash star, whatever it was. I wanted to open my eyes because I thought someone like came in and turned the light on or whatever. Obviously, I didn't. And then when she showed me the readings after, I actually think it was, well, whatever chakra it was on the thing, it looked exactly like what I saw. It was like a bright star that expanded out.
Yeah.
But I think it was, what's it called? What's that one called? The one we were working with? The Soul Star chakra.
Soul Star.
Like I felt it like this above my head.
Yeah.
It was so weird. I can't even put it into words. But also what came to me as a realization, and I think this all depends on how in tune you are. Because I think if we hadn't been this processed or this whatever, enlightened, whatever the word is, you wouldn't have these visions. And I think the point of this is that these things are accessible in your body when you clear the shit.
Yeah.
But what I came to realize is this whole time I was thinking humans aren't actually humans.
Yeah.
If we can do all these incredible things and access these level of frequencies and do all this magic stuff, then we choose to keep ourselves trapped in the human.
The illusion,
the surface.
Yeah, it's the belief system as well, isn't it? Because I always have stories. I do obviously read a lot, listen a lot. So Jesus,
yes,
is a messenger.
Yes.
When he was 8, he went to Egypt to the Egyptian School of Magic.
Didn't know that.
For like 6 years. So I think he left when he was 14, and he learned meditation and reincarnation there. But within meditation, he learned breath work, he learned Reiki and all these things. That's how he
Seriously?
That's how he healed people with his hands.
I've always said, that makes sense.
It's Reiki energy. So he's basically come back from the pyramids and been like, yo, guys, God's not external. We are God. We all have his power.
Yeah.
And that's why they killed him. It's like, no, we need to create this propaganda that is external, give your power away. That's why they killed him. But he was teaching everyone to heal with the hands, to do emotional coaching, to do breath work, to do meditation. And
to go inwards, basically.
That's the message, to go inwards. So yeah, we're not saying we're not humans. He will try to explain to people we're all gods and we all can access this ability. You go to church nowadays, the pastor talks about the anointed ones. We're all anointed.
Isn't that so weird that I told you that's what my name means recently?
Yeah, but we're all anointed because we're all made in the image of God. He said in the Bible, I made you in my image. So if God's a God, he's not made as human, he's made as God because that's his image.
But I just want to say...
confuse that by worshipping Jesus, who's the man.
The external.
And that's the external power. That's why we give our power away to men nowadays and people.
Yeah. What did we say in our call the other day when it was this goes back to more like masculine, feminine thing, but with the Adam meat and the apple or whatever and surrendering to the woman and...
Sarah was talking about that, weren't she?
Yeah.
She basically says, have you heard the theory that Adam and Eve, that Eve actually channeled from God to eat the apple to create the duality and create the society that we live in?
That's it. But then the man had to surrender to
But
that.
he had to surrender to her, saying, look, I'm getting this vision through. I think we should eat the apple. No, but we've been told not to. No, but I'm being told to. And then he trusted her to eat it.
Yeah.
And that's when everything happened. Whereas we're kind of told that she disobeyed God, he let it happen, so now we're all getting punished for it.
And the patriarchy was born.
And then the patriarchy is born, so we distrust women and that sort of thing.
Yeah. That is so mad.
Um,
But yeah, the whole internal thing is we're literally doing God's work. But this is what I was going to say. When you refer to it as God and the Bible and blah, 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 there will be people hearing this, because I was that person before. I'm sure you've been this person too, where it's like, you're literally just Bible bashing. Like there's no real physical proof in what you're saying. But if you take the religion out of it, like the religious part of it, it's still the same thing. You could look at it even from a scientific point of view, because that's what this thing that we went on is kind of proving.
Yeah.
Is that the God, the frequency, the woo, the whatever you think this might be, is actually provable.
Yeah, and backed by science.
And it's backed by science. It's
You know,
frequency
and
at
a
the
big
end of the
person
day.
that people know on the internet is Joe Dispenza. He's a scientist that moves into spirituality and talks about the chakra system with the science. So it's proven that it works.
Yeah.
And it's coming out more and more and more and more anyway.
Yeah.
But it's same with sound healing. People are like, what does sound healing work? Well, what's an ultrasound? You know, we've been using sound for years. Like we use it, just not how we should be using it.
It's that thing that goes around a lot. Like you see people believing in Wi-Fi, invisible rays that charge everything, but you won't believe in frequency itself.
Yeah.
And the energy and
it's
the power that it has.
Believe in Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, but nothing else energetically.
Yeah. Everything is energy. Everything is frequency. Everything's a vibration. And this proves it, basically.
And if you don't believe it, go on your iTunes, go on your Spotify, put on a nice song, and I bet you feel good.
Yeah, like how else would you explain that? It is the flipping
It's the frequency of what's coming through, isn't it? You're going to feel good after listening to something nice. Hence why when people are heartbroken, listen to heartbreak love songs, which keeps them trapped in that cycle of feeling the heartbreak. But also, if you're aware, you can process your emotions with sound. Yeah. So I've done that a lot, process emotions through sound. I think it's definitely an autistic thing. But I've noticed that sound does a lot for me. Yeah, it could be any modality. But I was doing it subconsciously, and now I'm aware of it, I can do it actively. But before I was listening to music and just going on drives and feeling stuff and just allowing it to process, and day later I feel a lot better. Yeah. But I was doing it subconsciously, whereas now I'm more aware of it, so I'm doing it actively now. The difference between subconscious and conscious is that your body is guiding you regardless. It's just that then your mind becomes aligned to it. Yeah. That's what consciousness is. I've literally just found that out right now. Because your subconscious is your body doing something without your mind realizing. Yeah. Then you're conscious of it, so then your mind and body align, which is the whole flipping point of all of this. Which is where, so with the breath work, we breathe every day, all day, every day. Nothing changes. But when you consciously breathe... amplifies the power of it. Yeah. It's not just then to survive, it's to thrive. Because we're meant to breathe, 6 to 8 times per minute. We probably breathe 20 to 30 times a minute. Yeah. Because our body's stressed. So we're constantly hyperventilating in a stressful situation. That's what the world creates. Because if you go somewhere on holiday, does your breathing not slow down? Do you not feel a lot more relaxed when you're by the ocean? Yeah. Because our environment's creating our stress. And that takes on to something we should have said before, where, you can't get better in the environment you got sick in, which is a saying, unless you're aware you're back in that environment. Yes. So for me, I knew my environment as a kid was a bit messed up, hence why I ran away and went to Germany and stuff like that, because I knew what was going on back here wasn't good for me. But at the same time, I knew I'd have to come back and deal with that. Yeah. But it took me until I was in my 30s to do that. But I knew I was running away because the environment got sick and I couldn't have got better in. But now I'm more aware I can go back to the environment and be better in that environment. We need to unpack this in another... There is so much to say on this environment thing. But a lot of people stay stuck in the same environment, wonder why nothing's changing. It's because, well, you can't, because there's only so much growth you can have it there. But to link it back to what we're talking about now with the frequency thing, the only environment you're ever trying to run away from is your own body. Yeah. And that's like the key thing, because you can try and move away from whatever, but basically linking it back to the fact that the frequencies don't exist externally. It's all internal. It comes back to the same point every time. Yeah, and that goes back to what we said on one of the first episodes, where it was like, if we lived on the street, you'd be happy and content because we don't need to run away from ourselves. We're comfortable with what's in our mind and our body, our frequency. Yeah. We're okay with it. A lot of people avoid how they feel, avoid what they think. Yeah. So we do everything external.
And then we live a life we're trying to create an external feeling that is always then, you're basically always then dependent on something external to you.
Yeah.
To be happy, to be fulfilled, to be whatever. And that is not the life.
Yeah,
That's
so,
survival.
Because I was listening again to my boy Reggie, Robert Edward Grant, and he's like, the universe is mental, the universe is emotional.
The universe isn't mental.
No, it is, but it's also like the universe is
emotional.
actually emotional because your feelings create your thoughts,
Yeah.
and your thoughts create your environment, which is the manifestation thing. So you're feeling like shit, your environment's going to be shit.
Yes.
So it all comes back to how you feel.
Yeah.
If you feel happy, your environment's going to feel happy, then your brain's going to be happy, and then you can have more happy things.
It's a bit of a chicken and egg situation though, because the environment, like if you look at it from childhood where we do a lot of the work, you come in with like a pure internal environment.
Yeah.
Well, pure to some degree, because you can look at like generational shit as well, but that's a
Yeah.
whole other thing. But then we're conditioned into an environment that then creates the sadness, the anger, whatever.
Yeah.
And then is it internal? Is it external? Is it both? It's both.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's meant to be why we're here. You know, we're here to basically experience love. Because this is the
Yes.
hardest school to go to, essentially. So if you can be on Earth with all this war and stuff going on and still find
And
love,
be love, yeah.
you've mastered it.
Yes.
This is the point of why there's so much pain and rage, because you're meant to see through it and think, do you know what, all this is going on, but I'm still going to be me.
Be love. Literally be love.
Just be that. Be the light. That's where people fail and get reincarnated and come back. But once you can be in an environment where it doesn't affect you, that's the ultimate power. Hence why we can't get better in the environment we've got sick in until we're aware. Then you can stay in this shit environment but still be peace and power. Yes, it will affect you because vibrationally and negative affects you in different ways. But if you're doing something on a daily basis, I think, to keep that power and keep the energy, you can stay thriving,
Yes.
rather than dying.
Rather than dying.
Yeah.
Rather than just survival is actually death.
Yeah.
To some degree.
Yeah, 'cause you have
in
to
a
kill
human
a part
life.
of yourself to survive, don't you?
Yeah, because I'm just now thinking about like animals, for example. They only survive. But we see the only reason they don't see survival as like mundane, because like if a human who's just surviving is not really living. But an animal that's surviving is thriving because that's what they're made to do. And also they don't have the consciousness to measure whether that's
Precisely.
thriving or not.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing animals and insects don't have is consciousness, but they're here to do the job and they all seem to do it automatically. You know, birds know to fly south for the winter.
Yeah, there's no confusion in
People
nature.
know to hibernate, they know where to lay the eggs. Turtles go to the same island every year to lay their eggs. Like, how do they know that? It's just in the DNA.
Yeah.
What's in our DNA is to do what we should be doing, but we're not doing it because we're in an environment now where we have to work 9 to 5.
Yes.
But take away work, what we're going to do? We'll be meditating, we'll be thriving, we'll be being, we'll be happy, we'll be building stuff, we'll be working together as a community. That's what we'd be doing if we weren't working 9 to 5. That's what we're here. That's what we're meant to do.
Do you know there's this debate about AI is actually partly trying to take us back to that. I don't know if it's just like a positive spin on it because there's obviously negatives that come with it. But if it took all our jobs, let's say, because that's what people are fearing, then what would we do? We would have to just be.
Yeah, you'd have to be yourself and be at peace with your own self.
Yeah.
So you'd have to work on yourself. Otherwise, you're just sat in chaos all the time.
Yeah.
So you'd just be healing all the time.
Yeah, or you'd be
nothing else to
avoiding it all
do.
the time, but you would be doing it in a way that is not because of a job.
Yeah, but I guess if there were no work and stuff, the majority of people would sort of be doing this, so it'd be a norm.
Do you think that's what would happen? So I think you'd still have the same level of avoidance and everything, but it would just look different. It
No,
wouldn't
because
look
what else
like
are you going to
free
fill
work.
your 9 to 5 day with? So if there's no jobs, what are you going to be doing?
Well, whatever people do in their meantime anyway.
Yeah, but you're going to get bored and you're going to be sat in your misery thinking, why do I still think these thoughts?
Yes, but people have that anyway with a 9 to 5, so then they distract themselves from that misery rather than facing it. So it depends on what you're coded with.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot more 9 to 5. So if you take away every single job, what would we be doing? There's nothing to do.
Yeah.
So at some point, you're going to have to sit with yourself. I think it'd happen a lot quicker.
No, but it's
Hence
not
why
that-
they keep us in the jobs.
But the services and everything would still be available. It's
There
just
would
that
be.
humans wouldn't be doing it. So like if I distract myself from my misery by drinking, I'm just going to go to a robot that's going to serve me a drink rather than a human
Right, do more drinking.
and do more of the avoidance.
Yeah.
Or it will push people into a greater awakening and actually step up to, I have nothing to do with
I think
face myself.
naturally it'd push people into the awakening just because you sat with yourself a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's more time to drink, so more time to get bored of it. You get bored of a lot more things a lot quicker if you're doing it like that every single day, I think.
We would like to think it would go in that direction anyway.
Yeah. I think it is going. The more every day you wake up, there's more and more people becoming more aware of themselves and wanting to do better. And they're seeing how chaotic the world is and how misaligned it is for everyone's life. Hence why there's depression, because we're not meant to be doing this. Our bodies and environment set up for what we're not meant to be doing. So people are getting into these states of anxiety and depression because we're not meant to be doing it.
I have this friend who she's fallen away because vibrationally it just doesn't align anymore. I saw a picture of her the other day and I was just thinking, you are so, it's the NPC thing again, but you're so meant to be here to just fit the structure. And it's just something you said just made me think that, because then I was like, there's obviously certain people who are here to wake up the world and others who are not.
Yeah.
I don't know where I came from that. I just saw the picture of her in my mind and I thought, there's so much that you aren't aware of. There's so much that you don't see. And if I talk on that level with her, we've had this so many times where we just argue. That was back in my day where my ego was driving my awakening and I was trying to make her understand it. But yeah, I don't really know what my point to that was, but I was just saying that makes me more and more aware that there are some people who would awaken and there were some people who would just find another way to keep trapped in the loop. But yeah, more and more people are awakening. It's just that some people just aren't supposed to.
Yeah, and that's okay. And some of those people might be family members.
Oh,
it could be
yeah.
your siblings. It could be your best mate. And that's okay. You know, you can still love them for who they are. But it's just not pushing stuff onto them, I guess. Let them just be. Let people be.
Focus on your own terrain, your own environment.
Because we know there's a ripple effect. You know, the more I do this podcast and other stuff, the more my mum talks to me about it and my sisters do.
Yeah.
And yeah, and even my auntie the other day at the wedding, it's like, just do it because people are watching. People want to see the example rather than people talking about the example. Yeah. People want to see how it's done. And that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just showing people how to do it rather than just talking about it.
It takes, this is another thing that's come up in my life a lot recently. It takes a fuckload of bravery to be that person.
Yeah.
Because there's some choices I've had to make. And at times it makes me think, oh my God, is this even worth it? And then I see the ripple effects and you see the people who are then like joining the vibration, even people that you would never expect to join the vibration. Yeah. And certain things I'm hearing and seeing and like, I'm like, oh my God, it's just an example that's been set again and again and again and again and again. And that's how things shift and change. And yeah, the frequency spreads. Frequencies which are real, because that's how we started this conversation. We can measure them, just in case you doubted it still.
What we were talking about, you know, with the Ark, that place in Manchester, it's a measuring tool.
Yeah.
You know, people ask us, so what is it you do? How does it work? How do I know it's working? Well, this tool we've got can measure that. Otherwise, it's true, you know. How do you know it's working? How would you know? We know for ourselves by not being triggered as much. We're feeling happy within ourselves. Our body carries less ailments, less stress. We wake up with more clarity and peace. You know, you have greater intuition. Things become easier in your life. You're able to have conversations more better and more positive.
More aligned.
What else?
Get all the things that you want easier.
So all these are things that you know you're on the right path and it's working.
But they're just hard to explain to someone and be like, if you do this, you get this. Whereas with the numbers, and I think that shows, the work that we do shows in like the rate of our numbers as well. Because there was a woman that she was telling me about, her heart came in when they measured her heart chakra, it was like a 4.
Yeah.
And we were getting what, like 97s and shit.
Yeah.
That's not like an egotistical comment, by the way. I'm just saying like that shows that it works.
Yeah. The biggest thing for me was when he showed me my nervous system is like it's 100%. Like it's bang on. I went, that makes sense because I do nervous system regulation almost every day. So if it wasn't working, it wasn't bang on, I'd know it's all bullshit and I'd stop doing it. If I went to that and it was 50% my nervous system, I'd stop doing it.
Yes, I was going to say I would have loved to have done that before I started the womb work stuff. When she asked me which chakra do you think is the lowest, I said sacral. She was like, no, that's your highest. And I was like, that has to show that that's working. Whatever I'm doing is working. I've been on for fucking, I don't know, like 3-4 years now. Yeah. Just working and processing and moving the emotion and going into the history and the generations and the patterns and all that stuff. If I had this reading before, 100% that would have been my lowest one.
Yeah, I wish I had the reading before as well.
But then imagine like now when we become more and more aligned, if it's, well, of course it's possible. And then we do it again in like 6 months' time.
Should keep going up, shouldn't it? Yeah. But for me, that just cemented like the nervous system. You know, I speak about it a lot and that is physical proof that it does work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just through breathing, ice baths, training. You know, I do stress it, but that's how it gets stronger and gets better. Just stress it in the right ways, not through work, not through fear. It's through intention. I'm intentionally stressing my nervous system to be better rather than walking out in the world and having it stressed for me.
Yes.
So people that don't feel safe as well within themselves, it could be to do with your nervous system being irregulated.
I think it's always that.
Yeah. So then it's like, how do I become regulated?
Through
First of
everything
all,
that we talk
yeah,
about.
understanding yourself. That's where it starts. I mean, you can jump on a machine, you can have a bit of Reiki. It probably does 10%. But
Yeah.
it's just a top up. You need to actually embody everything and live it and do it. You know, you can't be like a part-time vegetarian. You can, but what's the point? You might as well just do it
The results
properly.
aren't there. Yeah.
You know, you find that with like veganism. People are like, are you a vegan? Yeah. But you're wearing sheep's wool.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do something, if you do it
Dedicate.
properly, dedicate, do it all.
Yeah. It's the only way you're going to get the results.
Yeah.
And that goes back to like the God thing, because people often put like religion and stuff, the external, what you're saying about killing Jesus because he realized you can raise the frequency and whatever. We've conditioned it to then believe the thing is external to us, but then that can become the same with the healing space, is where like I don't need to heal physically or mentally, emotionally. Something else like this thing can do it for us. But it's knowing that this is the thing that's going to show you and help you and aid it. And there's thousands of ways to do it like that.
Yeah.
But it's always going to come back to a combination of the modalities. You can't just do one thing and hope it's going to change.
Yeah. So I started doing the breath work because I had a lot of sexual energy and it was an addiction. So I'm like, I need to channel this energy into something else. And that's when I started doing the breath work on the morning. When I wake up first thing, I'm going to put all my intention into the breath work.
Mm-hmm.
And I've started doing 2.5, 3 years on from that. Do those things still come up? Yes, but I feel like I'm able to control it a lot more because it's not ruling my life.
Mm.
So because I went into more nervous system regulation, that made me become less needy and wanty of sex. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's like
Obviously, I've had to go through the trauma, unlocking and chakra and all that sort of thing. But initially, I had an intention to get rid of this energy and put it in something else.
Mm-hmm.
Then I've kind of done a full circle in the end and gone back to healing that part of me that needed to do this to replace that.
Yeah, so you learn to channel your power instead of have the pain rule you.
Yes.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Because I've got that was so many examples. But yeah, it's just making sure that your behaviors and your desires aren't run by your pain. Because that's where a lot of us are.
Yeah.
But then if you become aware of the pain,
you can
then
understand what the
channel
desires
it
are. Yeah.
into something powerful.
Yeah. And we're all carrying pain, and sometimes just let it out through anger, through arguments, through stress. Channel it, put it into something positive.
Intention.
Yeah, you've got the energy there, so put it in something positive and it will grow even quicker.
Yeah. What did we say last time? Use it instead of waste it.
Use it,
You'll
not lose
drain
it.
it, whatever.
Yeah.
Use it or lose it. Literally use it or lose it.
Yeah. Use it in the right way.
In the right way. Channel it correctly.
I'll lose it. 35 minutes in.
Cool. Let's wrap this up.
Wrap it up. So we spoke about the arc, our experiences, how it helped us.
And helped us show that this work works, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, we might
We might be getting hold of one.
We
might be getting hold of one
and
soon. In the Wakefield area. Look out and you can come down and give it a blast.
Give it a try.
But we might actually get them on to speak about it more.
Yeah.
At some point as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they'll be able to break it down a lot easier than we're trying to explain it.
But yeah, it was a powerful experience and it just amplifies everything we're already doing.
Yeah, and it's so basic. It's literally a bed and some music. And that's how easy
I mean, it's a lot more than that. But yeah, don't just lie down on your bed, play some music and think it's going to do the same. Because it's not.
No.
As you know.
I know, but that's what it is. It comes with intention.
intention.
It comes with the coaching. All that helps to mould it into what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really sick.
But yeah, hopefully we've given you some examples or understanding of how frequencies are real and this work works.
Yeah.
Basically. But thank you for tuning in, growing with us. Leave your comments, join our retreat, and we'll see you on the next one.